Hey guys, good morning. It's Nicoa Dunn. Cornelius, I'm actually coming to you live this beautiful Sunday morning. It's a bright, little bit of an overcast day here along the banks of Whiskey Creek. And I am so pleased to share with you that I'm about to whine for the next 8 minutes. Yeah, this is not wine. No, this is coffee. Hope you have yours. We're going to talk about whining and why we whine. Please forgive me. I have to put these on. It's a little bit bright today. So, why do we whine? And I have to tell you something about whining for me. It's really annoying. I whine about people whining. And it's because I'm a coach. It's because I've spent my entire career trying to help people help themselves move forward. And yet, the more I whine about people whining, my family members, my kids, my clients, the more I realize there's some sort of value in that. Because I'm whining about whining. You know, who do I think I am? So I kept asking myself, there must be some reason, there must be some value in this because people do it all the freaking time. And it drives me insane. So what is it about that as I observe myself do I need to learn? So yeah, there it is. So I'm going to tell you the 3 reasons why we whine, at least in Nicoa's opinion, and in my research over the last few decades, that there must be value in this experience. So you whine all the time, right? Like, I'm sure you come home from work or you have a colleague or you've got a family member and you're like, oh my God, they're driving me crazy. Oh, this person, right? Oh, I wish they would just show up differently. Or I just wish I could. What is it that you wish for? If I could wave a magic wand, what would you wish for? And is that an area in your life that you complain about, that you are frustrated about, that you're annoyed about, that you whine about, right? So I took notes. I really wanted to dig deep into this because whining is very common. And the number one reason that people whine, number one reason is because we believe that we are connecting with others. This is one of the 3 key reasons. And what am I talking about is commiseration. So the reason that we whine about stuff and commiserate and vent to our friends or our family members is because that gives us some sort of perceived connection, especially when our friend goes, I know, right? Yeah, they suck. I can't believe you had to deal with that either. So that commiseration we've confused over the years with connection, and it does connect us. You know, the person who's complaining about the gas prices, the person who's complaining about wearing a mask during the pandemic, that is a connection. When you complain and I complain, oh, we're having a common experience. So we connect and we feel better for a short period of time. The problem with commiseration and whining with friends in order to connect is that that's only a short-lived experience and it is not sustainable. It doesn't ultimately make you happier to whine, right? The second reason that we whine, and I really thought about this a lot because especially when it comes to work. So people whine about their jobs a lot because there might be trying to process out loud something that's frustrating for them. So when they whine about, you know, the process is broken or my manager's an ass or, you know, my colleague doesn't pull her own weight. When we're whining about that, that is actually us talking out loud to process something that we think we need to fix, even if we haven't quite figured out how. So whining, it can be very valuable to process, right? Once you start recognizing that there's an issue with something, it might bring to light an opportunity to repair a situation. Maybe the colleague needs to be, given some constructive feedback. You know, maybe the boss needs to also be told what you need. So that's where item number 3 comes in around whining. So when you start to vent and whine, I want you to observe yourself, because if that is something that's being brought to the surface, you're working through something that needs to be figured out, then the third reason comes in, which is there must be either a missing boundary that you need to set or a missing conversation that needs to be had. But in this third area, the key here is you owning it. I know, right? We always come back to you're the number one, the common denominator in your life, right? So That third reason, if you recognize, you know what, I'm not setting any boundaries. I'm not asking for what I want. Back to number one, what I just wish, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, if you wish, fill in the blank, how willing are you to take responsibility, to make a change? I'm a victim to it. No, you're not. It's your experience. You can either change your opinion of all the facts that there are sitting in front of you and keep whining, because there must be something about that whining you like. Or you can say, what is the missing conversation here? Do I need to quit my job? Do I need to tell my boss this is not acceptable? Do I need to share some feedback with my peer so that they know that I'm feeling burdened? Do I need to be vulnerable and open about something that's bothering me? So here's the opportunity, guys. Why do you whine? And what are you whining about? Have you stopped long enough to really say, God? And so here, back to my concern of whiners, I whine about whining. I whine about the people in my world who are whining and don't take responsibility to actually take action. So why does that bother me? So if I own this experience of being annoyed by people who whine, then what am I willing to do to figure out what the real issue is for me? Do I just want to commiserate about whining? No, because I'm whining with myself. I'm frustrated with people by reacting in a stress reaction. No, I'm not trying to connect with anybody. So it's not item number one. Number two, am I trying to process things? Am I trying to figure things out? I rarely talk about my annoyance with people who whine out loud. So it's an internal dialogue. So the third thing is there must be something missing for me. There must be a missing opportunity for me. And am I willing to dig deep and find it? Usually you keep whining because you're afraid to know what you're really annoyed about, because it's usually something about you and your own boundaries. So I thought about it this morning and I figured out that for me, it's probably not taking enough time for myself, like alone time, where I am not owning all my clients' challenges and issues, which I don't really own it, but I just carry space for it. So I'm going to ask and set some intentions. And I want you to do the same for me, with me, for your whining issues, right? So these intentions can sound a little bit like this, and you can add your own list. I want you to make a list today about why you whine, why we whine, and why you're whining and what it's really telling you. I will listen to my whining. I will own my whining. I will ask myself what I want. I will observe myself when I am frustrated, annoyed, at my wit's end, whining. I will notice when I feel unheard or unappreciated, or fill in the blanks. And I will allow those feelings when they come. I will sit in that whining. I will sit in the frustration. I won't try to project it and throw it away or avoid it and numb out. I will own my own solution to my whining. I will determine if I actually want to change my situation. I will determine if I need help observing my whining. Do I need to ask for someone to help me whine so that I can then take action? I will use my voice to create the change I seek. I will ask for help if needed. I will take responsibility. I will decide and choose to let go of my whining when my whining no longer serves me, or when I keep pouring wine to offset my whining, right? So, two last things before we wrap. I listened to a podcast about the birth process and when a child takes its first breath. And a comment was made at the end that the necessity of the birthing process actually was a necessary trauma. There was a necessity in the trauma of the childbirth in order for them to be able to breathe air after breathing liquid for 9 months. So I want you to know that there must be, in my work recently around existential kink with Carolyn Elliott and the work I'm doing with rapid transformational therapy, there must be value in all. And the necessity of trauma, the necessity of whining, the necessity of frustration, the necessity of annoyance. So if you can observe it and leverage it and embrace it, then you will know how you need to move forward to find greater peace. But there's value in all. I send you off creating your life by design. Make your list. Let me know below. Tell me what you think. And please share this with those that you think would benefit. Thanks, guys. #Life by Design.